Module 8. Today, we are talking about how to elevate your world, how to elevate your practice, how to take all the last 7 modules and really implement it and create a strategy of how you are going to chart your own life. And this module is really to think about all of the key characteristics that I've given you and how you're also going to start planning and strategizing what you're going to do to create extraordinary lives that you can lead. And so what I mean by that, and the key characteristic is for this week, is celebrating resilience and celebrating grit. And your key takeaways is creating a 12-month strategy guide plan of what that looks like, what you're willing to do and what you're willing to incorporate, who you are at the end of this emotional grit training, who are you transforming to becoming, and what are you committed to for your team and for your office. You know, this is not one of those things where you go to a 3-day conference and you learn so much about yourself or about how you can strategize and add another 6 figures to the bottom line of production, or, you know, reduce the amount of overhead. This is really charting the rest of your life. And the beauty of this is now you have this, so you can replay this, re-listen to this, re-watch this, and take notes, because at every given point of time in your journey, there are going to be certain things that you're going to be mastering over one, or there are certain things that will pop up in your practice life that you may want to re-listen to certain nuggets about, and that's okay. Much of this, and it's very easy and actionable, so we want you to celebrate your resilience, celebrate some of the setbacks, celebrate the challenges, celebrate the grit, the true adversity that comes up from time to time in our life. Because with every peak, there's a valley. With every color, there's contrast. With every high, there's also a low. But you also have to realize many of those don't last forever. And as you become more emotionally aware, some of your highest highs will only get down to some of your highest lows as you go on into this trajectory of consistent growth. You are more able to manage adversities. You're more able to think, okay, how does this really affect me now versus what do I have going on in the future? And what your entire life would like to look like when you're planning and strategizing. So how is your emotional resilience and your emotional confidence as a result with respect to your intellectual life? What are you willing to do in order to add a certain skill so that you can focus on building that out? What are you willing to do to add into your love relationship with regards to your emotional fitness? What about your financial emotional fitness? What are you willing to do to plan and strategize what that looks like? And when I'm talking about intellectual, your love life, your financial life, what are key goals that you want to create in each of these categories? What are key characteristics that you want to embody as a leader? And for example, this could be more drive, more passion, more discernment in hiring team members. Maybe in your love life, it's being more attuned or in tune with your partner's feelings. Or maybe it's being able to understand and maybe taking some of those personality tests so that you can understand and navigate where both of you are coming from. Maybe it's in your own intellectual life. You would want to learn how to be better at placing more implants, or maybe it's a different language, a foreign language that you want to master, or maybe it's another hobby to spark that intellectual curiosity, or maybe it's just a goal of reading 1 book a month on growth. So you see, we have several different categories, and I'm going to list them here on the side that will help you navigate through some of these building blocks so that you can take this emotional awareness and apply it to each and every part, so that you can begin to start creating this new life of yours and create this team of yours, this dream team of yours that you already have. You just need to switch it on, and you've already had them. And it's just a matter of training them now, from shifting your mindset to some of those old limiting beliefs to this new framework of thinking, and what you're willing to do as a result, and how consistent you're willing to repeat this, because consistency and repetition is everything. If you wanted a six-pack, if you wanted the best health ever in your life, from this point on, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to go to the gym every single day? Are you willing to get up a half hour every single day? Because repetition builds those big muscles, and repetition with your emotional awareness, your emotional acumen, builds that muscle. And so every single time you make bad decisions, you learn from those decisions. And then you make better decisions as a result. And this is probably one of the key takeaways throughout the entire module, is what that's going to look like for you, what that's going to look like for the team members, and the way that you hire, the way that you speak to your patients, the way that you influence your patients. And perhaps not even being attached to the outcome, but really just being attached to the solutions that you're providing. And watch and see what happens. Watch and see yourself flourish. Watch and see yourself transform as a leader. That's what I'm really excited. And I hope that I've added enough value for you to get started with this emotional grit as the basic foundation for mastering your inner self